There's some fox. We do have some fox around here. And they are sly, like they say. This one here is an off-season fox. He's not red. They usually are this red. So they change color with the seasons. They're very fast. They're very sly. And they climb trees.
Joseph saw one up in the Hendrickson's field when he was mowing the hay up there. He said it was following along behind the tractor and pouncing on the little voles and field mice that were being exposed when he was cutting the hay.
Their main source of food is voles, mice, rats, small birds, eggs. They love eggs. Birds are one of their main source, and grouse. Here's a few more that are, again, just a little bit different colored. Just depending on the season.
That's beautiful.
But again, these were taken out because they were going after people's chickens, and they were getting into things, and they get kind of domesticated with humans. They're they can be really friendly, and so if they get, again, too close and hanging around. This is a gray fox. This is a red fox. So you can see the difference between these. This one's a little better. One of my hounds a long time ago.
And we have both of those?
Yeah.
Wow.
This one actually came from the La Center Woodland area, but that's a difference between the two. Lot different.
Wow.
So I'm not sure which one Joseph saw. Was it the big red or the gray? These are a lot smaller. And then I have, this is really interesting. This is a mink.
Which we do have in the area.
And we have them. They cost me a lot at one point.
I've seen them run across the road here.
And this is a little weasel that gets blamed for a lot of what this guy does. Minks and weasels are hoarders, so they do kill for sport. They kill because they think they're never going to have anything tomorrow. So they will go in and they will kill these guys will kill a whole flock. I don't know, they can kill 30, 40 plus birds in one evening.
I remember you saying they bite their neck, kill it, on to the next.
They run, they grab it here, they flip their body, which causes the animal to flip, breaks their neck, and they move to the next one, and we're talking within seconds and minutes.
They're like professional killers.
They're professional killers. And once they kill them, they will take and they will stack them. They will stack them up in a pyramid. They will take and stack them in your nest boxes, thinking that they're going to need them to eat tomorrow or the next day. It's really sad because they took out a lot of my exotics one night, and I thought someone played a joke on me. So the way they had stacked them in pyramids, perfectly pyramids. There was a pair of them. The game department went to mink homes in their holes and dug them out and found hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of decomposed rodents, birds, quails. They take and they just stack them up. So these guys can be very dangerous. They will attack you. I was attacked, and I'm very fortunate that it was wintertime and I had some wool clothes on, because he ran up the back of me and he went to grab my neck and flip, and I had a wool collar on. And
that was after they'd already killed.
They had killed hundreds of my birds in 2 days.
And I remember the smell of the mink the day after.
Yes, they are as powerful as a skunk.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got done fighting him and I walked in the house, my family and all my dogs took off. And my dogs knew the smell was a bad predator because they were like, oh my gosh, so yeah.
When a dog says you smell bad,
Smell
you
bad.
really bad.
I'm out of here. So yeah, you can't hardly get it off just like a skunk. The weasels, they're kind of like that, but in a little tiny source. They can eat your chickens. They crawl up sometimes under the wing and nip a little blood vessel, and they'll lick it until the blood is run out and the chicken falls, and then they come in and they just eat the back of the neck and eat the brain. That's all they eat. But that is very uncommon. They prefer the eggs, but they're mostly will come in and get your rodents. If you have a lot of a weasel, you have a lot of rats or mice in your barn
So
or around
weasels
your barn.
will eat rats?
Yes.
Huh.
This guy's a little bit small. I had one a little bit bigger. Remember the one that I had?
Yeah.
He was wild. But he decided that maybe he thought I was his mother, because one day he ran up and he sat on my shoe and he looked at me like, are you my mom? And I thought, well, that's really weird. I'm going to have my leg eaten off by a weasel. Well, then he would go down to the barn and he would get a rat and he would bring it to the house and he would scratch on our back door. And Kyle would say, Mom, your weasel's back. And I would go down to the barn. I'd be working in the barn. And, of course, the chickens could hear him and they were kind of cackling and nervous. And then you just hear this ruffle, 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 and he would pop out and fall backwards, and he'd have this huge rat in his mouth, and he killed it, and he would bring it over to me, and I'm like, you can have that. So he would grab it, and off into the woods he'd go. And we did this forever, and then
I
he
remember.
just, yeah, that's back when I had Edgar.
Yeah.
And then he must have got killed or just moved on or something, but he never once bothered my chickens.